I'm Steve Croft.
I'm Leslie Stahl.
I'm Bob Simon.
I'm Morley Safer.
I'm Helena Björk.
I'm Scott Pelley. Those stories and Andy Rooney tonight on 60 Minutes.
In tonight's episode, we will be talking about Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos. But who is she and where did she come from? And why is she suddenly one of the most hated people in Trump's cabinet? Well, it's hard to find just one reason for the criticism she faces, but let us dig a little deeper. Well, Betsy is born to a billionaire, and on top of that, she married into the 88th richest family in America. She's a conservative Christian activist, and she doesn't really have any experience in education, so maybe the criticism she faces can be justified.
Why have you become, people say, the most hated cabinet secretary?
I'm not so sure how exactly that happened.
The reason Betsy DeVos wanted to be Secretary of Education was so she could promote school choice. School choice is about offering parents options other than the traditional public schools where 90% of kids go. She has proposed massive cuts in the public education funding and wants to shift billions to alternative players like private and charter schools. Because of this focus on school choice, her critics argue that redirecting the public's money to private school is kind of a way to defund these public schools, and often it's the public schools that need the most money. She has been facing a lot of heat because of this, because of her wanting to take money and giving them to private schools instead of public schools, because she herself has never gone to a public school. She went to a private Christian school, and she sent her children to a private Christian school and also her grandchildren. So far, teachers have not been happy with the Secretary of Education, and for example, Randy Weingarten, the president of the American Federation of Teachers, said, "In nominating DeVos, Trump makes it loud and clear that his education policy will focus on privatizing, defunding, and destroying public education in America." One of the biggest issues she has been facing is that she is called unqualified for the job because she hasn't really been able to answer a lot of questions that are important. For example, when she was asked if students should be measured by grade level proficiency or yearly progress.
For that question, I think if I'm understanding your question correctly around proficiency, I would also correlate it to competency and mastery, so that each student is measured according to the advancement that they're making in each subject area.
Well, that's growth. That's not proficiency. So in other words, the growth they're making is in growth. The proficiency is an arbitrary standard.
If they've reached a level, the proficiency is if they've reached a like third grade level for reading, etc.
No, I'm talking about the debate between proficiency and growth.
Yes.
And what your thoughts are on them.
Well, I was just asking to clarify then.
Well, this is a subject that has been debated in the education community for years. But it surprises me that you don't know this issue.
So a lot of people have been wondering why Trump chose Betsy DeVos as his Secretary of Education. First of all, she seems very unqualified for the job because she's not able to answer any questions about the subject. And second of all, she did not support Trump. She is, though, a really big Republican and has been active in the Republican Party since she was about 24 years old. And in fact, her family is one of the biggest contributors to soft money into the party, and she's very proud of that. But when it comes to the presidential election in 2016, she and her family gave money to a lot of candidates to the president election, but not Trump, not a single dime. And in fact, she said officially that she did not want Trump as the Republican candidate and that he doesn't suit the job and stuff like that. So people have been wondering why he would pick her.
My question is, and I don't mean to be rude, but do you think if you were not a multi-billionaire, if your family has not made hundreds of millions of dollars of contributions to the Republican Party, that you would be sitting here today?
Senator, as a matter of fact, I do think that there would be that possibility. I've worked very hard on behalf of parents and children for the last almost 30 years to be a voice for parents and to voice for students and to empower parents to make decisions on behalf of their children, primarily low-income children.
Thank you.
That's all for tonight. I'll see you again next week, and thank you for watching.